Hello everybody and welcome back to Explain 11. My name is Micah and today I'm going to be demonstrating the very basics of how to connect, communicate, and fly on the VATSIM network. The VATSIM network is a wonderful tool for those who are wanting a little bit more of a realistic experience with any of our simulators, FSX, P3D, or Explain 11. Let's start off first by getting the information we need and starting our flight plan process. Look up the weather for the airport you're departing and arriving from. I do this at datus.cloud.io. Select your departure facility. Check the ATIS for your departure facility. This will give you the weather information you need to know. And then select your arrival facility. And this will give you the information you need to know about the arriving facility. Next, you need to create your flight plan, whether that's in SimBrief or other flight planning software. Today I'll be using SimBrief. I'm going to create a new flight. Inside of the airline, I'm going to put my airline, the flight number, and of course also departing and arriving airport codes. Next, I will select the time I wish to depart. This is important. Then I'm going to select the aircraft I want to use. This will be the Boeing 737-800. Then of course you can change all this kind of stuff if you want to. I've gone into great detail in other tutorials on how to do all of that. So create the flight plan here and wait for it to load. And then what I'll do next is you want to file your flight plan. You can either do that at the VATSIM website, or if you're using SimBrief, scroll to the bottom and you can select Pre-File on VATSIM. So we're going to select Pre-File. Here you want to make sure all the information is correct. You can go to remove all the remarks information there. What you'll want to put here is your airline code, such as Delta Alpha Lima, which is Delta, and put it equals and then the name of the airline. This helps controllers like myself understand what airline you're actually flying for. We'll check your type of flight, call sign, aircraft code, departure and arrival, altitude, and all the other information. Next, you'll select File Flight Plan. One of the last things you'll want to do before actually getting into the simulator is pulling up your charts. I'll be using SkyVector here as it is the most widely used and free to use. You'll select the airport you wish to pull the charts from. In this example, we'll be using Cleveland. And you'll select Cleveland, select the airport, and then you can pull up the airport diagram, any of the approaches, arrivals, departures, all that is kept pretty much up to date. To download it, just select the PDF icon, and then you'll see that it pops up, and then you can select the download option, and of course save it to your computer. Just remember not to be this guy.
We've been following the flight plan the whole time, so do you want to score a different heading?
Alright, whenever you land, just open up the chart, the arrival that you're on, and you'll see what you did wrong.
I don't read charts, sir.
Oh my god.
Then don't follow the arrival if you're not going to fly it.
This is a hobby, sir, so I don't have to read charts.
Next, you'll want to load up your aircraft and airport. In this example, I'll be flying the Cessna 172 at Cleveland Hopkins International. Then start your VATSIM connection client. I recommend using XPilot. You want to ensure your aircraft is the correct type, your call sign is the correct call sign that you have filed your flight plan with. Then select Connect. After you've connected to VATSIM, one of the first things you want to do is to be sure you're not sitting on another aircraft at the ramp, parking location, or gate. Obviously, you cannot spawn on a runway as that violates VATSIM's policy. Next, you'll want to start your aircraft according to the proper starting procedures for your aircraft. Then you'll want to tune the ATIS that is being broadcast by the local controller. If there is no current ATIS being broadcast, don't worry about tuning it. If you're flying visual flight rules, once you're ready, contact the clearance delivery or higher, whether that be ground, tower, approach, or departure, or center, and get your clearance. It may look like this. Cleveland ground, November 174 Foxtrot Charlie, at the GA ramp with information alpha, departure to the east. Now yours may look a little different, such as remain in pattern, or to a specific airport. The controller will come back, such as November 174 Foxtrot Charlie, you're cleared out of the Cleveland Class Bravo airspace, maintain VFR at or below 2,500, departure frequency 124.0, squawk 7415. You'll read back that information and put the squawk code into your transponder and turn it to on. Note that each airport will have a different type of class of airspace, and each class of airspace will have a different type of departure clearance for VFR aircraft. But the Class Bravo is the most information you have to record. Also note the controller may tell you what the current ATIS code is, as well as to contact him when you're ready to taxi. Next, whenever you're ready to taxi, you'll call up to the controller and ask the controller, "You're ready to taxi. November 174 Foxtrot Charlie, ready to taxi." They'll come back, November 174 Foxtrot Charlie, taxi to runway 24 right via Lima 2, Lima, Sierra. Hold short 24 left on Sierra. Note that taxiing instructions will vary depending on what airport you're at, where you're located on the airport, and what active runway is currently being used. Pay special attention to hold short instructions on runways. It's very important that you obey those. Taxi to the appropriate runway with the instructions that were given to you. Once you've actually made it to the runway and you're holding short, give the controller approximately 10 to 20 seconds to see you are there. If it is a center controller, go ahead and let them know, because I guarantee you they're not looking. That call would sound like this. Cleveland Tower, November 174 Foxtrot Charlie, holding short runway 24 right. The controller will come back and give you instructions and clearance for takeoff. Remaining in pattern is simple. November 174 Foxtrot Charlie, winds 250 at 5, make right, close traffic, runway 24 right, runway 24 right, clear for takeoff. Departing to the north, south, east, or west, it goes like this. November 174 Foxtrot Charlie, winds 250 at 5, depart left crosswind, runway 24 right, clear for takeoff. Readback is simple. Simply read back the instructions given to you, except the winds. From here, it's really going to vary depending on what kind of flight plan that you have. Just follow the instructions given to you by the tower and read back any instructions given, and you'll be good to go. VFR flying is really simple and is really easy to do in VATSIM, and I highly recommend VFR flying for the new pilots who have never actually done any flying on VATSIM. IFR flying is slightly different in regards to communicating with ATC. You'll have a lot more interaction. Once you're ready to go, contact the appropriate controller. It may sound like this. Cleveland ground, Delta 1567 at Bravo 11 with information alpha, ready IFR to Atlanta. The appropriate controller may come back and sound like this. Delta 1567, Cleveland ground, clearance on request, you're number 1. Otherwise, expect your clearance immediately. Delta 1567, Cleveland ground, you are cleared to the Atlanta International Airport via the CAVS forward departure, Appleton transition, then is filed, climb via SID. Departure frequency is 124.0, squawk 7415. Read back the full clearance to the controller. Delta 1567 is cleared to the Atlanta International Airport via the CAVS forward departure, Appleton transition, then is filed, climb via SID. Departure frequency 124.0, squawk 7415 for Delta 1567. Note you may also hear this version. Delta 1567, Cleveland ground. You're cleared to the Atlanta International Airport via the CAVS forward departure, Appleton transition, then is filed. Maintain 6000. Expect flight level 350, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 124.0, squawk 7415. Simply read back those instructions. The controller will probably come back and give you further instructions such as current ATIS alpha, expect runway 24 right for departure. Push and start at own discretion, call me when ready to taxi. Also remember to squawk mode Charlie, altitude off, on all ramps and taxiways in any controlled airport. Taxi clearance is the same as VFR aircraft. Cleveland ground, Delta 1567, ready to taxi, runway 24 right. Delta 1567, runway 24 right, taxi via Juliet Sierra, hold short 24 left on Sierra. Taxi to 24 right via Juliet Sierra, hold short of 24 left on Sierra for Delta 1567. Again, remember to pay attention to any hold short instructions they give you, or any follow this traffic, or caution traffic moving left or right, any type of traffic advisories on the ground. Taxi to the appropriate runway with the instructions given. Once you've arrived at the runway, again, give the controller approximately 10 to 20 seconds to see you ready to go. If they don't contact you, or if it's a center controller, go ahead and give them a call. Cleveland Tower, Delta 1567, ready to go, runway 24 right. Clearance for takeoff may look like this. Delta 1567, winds 250 at 5, runway 24 right, clear for takeoff. Or, Delta 1567, winds 250 at 5, fly runway heading, runway 24 right, clear for takeoff. Or, Delta 1567, winds 250 at 5, turn right heading 120, runway 24 right, clear for takeoff. Simply read back the information except for the wind. If there is a departure controller, expect to hand off rather quickly once you leave the ground. Initial calls to any controller from here on out will be in the following format: controller, your call sign, your position, and your altitude, with you. Follow any controller guidance or instruction, which can be a lot of different things. Again, like always, if you don't understand something, ask. If you're unable to accept any instruction, departure, approach, whatever, politely let them know you're unable to accept the instruction and explain why. Be nice. These controllers are overworked a lot of times and are volunteers. I hope this video has been instructional to you. If you have any questions, of course, come over to my Discord and feel free to ask me. Of course, I rely on your support over at patreon.com/mmflightclub to continue to do videos like this. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next time up in the sky.